Have you ever wondered why your feet sometimes become numb following certain forms of exercise? You may put it down to age or a minor inconvenience, but consider the possibility that some widely recommended activities may actually exacerbate this numbness. Worse still, these seemingly harmless routines might be damaging your nerves, increasing the risk of falls, and threatening your independence. Having witnessed many decades of life, I can attest that not every movement is healthful, especially as the years advance. Today, my aim is to address fellow seniors, those over 60, 70, and beyond. It is imperative to safeguard the mobility and strength remaining to us, and that begins with understanding which exercises to offer you. We shall now examine 5 exercises that may be undermining your feet and, by extension, your future. 1. Stationary cycling, especially recumbent bikes. Many older adults consider the stationary bicycle a safe and comfortable exercise solution, particularly the recumbent model with its supportive backrest and gentle pedaling motion. It feels like a prudent choice, minimizing the risk of falls, yet this very comfort contains a hidden risk. Prolonged sitting on such machines places pressure on some of the most sensitive nerves in the lower body, notably the sciatic nerve, which runs from the lower back through the hips and down to the feet. Compression or irritation of this nerve can swiftly result in tingling and numbness at the soles and toes. What may start as a mild annoyance can progress into persistent nerve damage, undermining sensation, balance, and confidence. For seniors contending with diabetes, poor circulation, or spinal issues, extended periods on a stationary bicycle can further diminish vital blood flow to the lower limbs, amplifying and prolonging numbness. Such discomfort should not be ignored. It signals that your body is under stress. Numb feet compromise the capacity to feel pain or pressure, impeding the ability to step safely and react appropriately, thus paving the way for falls and potentially serious complications. I have known robust individuals who required rehabilitation, not due to illness, but because an unresponsive foot led to a fall, often after disregarding warning signs of numbness attributed to these very exercises. My intent is not to cause alarm, but gently to raise your awareness. When your body signals distress via tingling extremities, it is advocating for adjustment, not stubborn persistence. 2. Toe touches and forward bends. At first glance, toe touches seem benign and even essential, a familiar stretch from childhood, believed to preserve flexibility and ward off stiffness. However, for seniors, the reality is considerably more complex and indeed more precarious. As we age, the spine becomes less accommodating. Lumbar discs lose fluid, spaces between vertebrae reduce, and nerves are increasingly vulnerable to compression. Deep bending motions, such as toe touches, place significant strain on this already delicate area, particularly if executed without adequate support. This type of stretch can compress nerves, influencing sensations in the legs, ankles, and feet, not necessarily through sudden pain, but through subtle numbness, tingling, and an unnatural muffled sensation. Continual stretching in this manner may trigger persistent nerve impairment. It is all too easy to mistake these initial warning signs as nothing more than poor circulation or a routine aspect of aging. In truth, such movements compromise your stability and independence, particularly as spinal alignment deteriorates. Every movement, once you are past 60, should prioritize stability over strain. Remember, your back requires gentler treatment than it once did. 3. High-impact aerobics, jumping jacks and step aerobics. Once intense movement, vigorous classes, aerobic routines, and energetic fitness programs invigorated many of us. Yet, high-impact exercise such as jumping jacks or step aerobics may now do more harm than good, especially if nerve health is already compromised. Each jump or hard landing delivers a shock through the feet, knees, and into the spine if your nerves are already weakened by age or conditions such as a neuropathy or a thinning of the natural pads on the soles. These impacts may cause cumulative micro-damage, rendering numbness more severe and chronic. Many seniors persist with such exercises, striving to stay strong, unaware of the potential for irreparable injury. Cases abound of individuals whose devotion to these routines led to a gradual loss of sensation, balance, and eventually dangerous falls. The body is adept at concealing discomfort, convincing us to proceed until the problem has grown too significant to ignore. To remain active is crucial. However, how one moves must be reconsidered and adapted so as to heal rather than harm. 4. Prolonged standing yoga poses, tree pose, warrior pose, is often lauded for its restorative qualities and its capacity to nurture body awareness. However, not every posture is appropriate for aging bodies, especially those that require maintaining prolonged balance on one foot. Standing poses such as a tree or warrior may, for those experiencing numbness or instability, create more risk than benefit. Sustained one-legged balance can place undue stress on weakened nerves in the feet and the ankles, particularly in those with neuropathy or arthritis. Prolonged strain on these delicate structures may intensify numbness, not only threatening balance but hampering nerve function entirely. I recall meeting a retired firefighter who, after embracing yoga, held standing poses for increasing durations. Over time, this practice led to numbness in his foot, which eventually resulted in a fall and lengthy rehabilitation. The very practice intended to enhance flexibility had inadvertently exceeded his body's changing limitations. Yoga, or any physical activity, must be adjusted to respect the realities imposed by age. Prioritize safety and balance above all. There are many ways to cultivate stability which do not imperil your nerves or joints. 5. Lengthy walks in unsuitable footwear. Walking is habitually recommended as the simplest and safest exercise. Yet even this fundamental activity may be detrimental if undertaken with poor footwear or across unforgiving surfaces. With age, the fat pads protecting our steps diminish, arches may collapse, and nerves become increasingly vulnerable. Walking long distances in shoes, lacking proper support, cushioning, or a sufficiently spacious toe box is not only uncomfortable, but may result in severe nerve compression, particularly of the tibial and plantar nerves. This gradually leads to numbness and a loss of connection with one's feet, compounding the risk of pain, wounds, and instability. For instance, an elderly neighbor of mine, faithful to his daily walks in worn-out trainers, experienced escalating numbness and ultimately developed a serious infection from a wound he could no longer feel. Walking remains safe only when the feet are adequately supported and one's senses are fully engaged. There is little benefit in exercise when it sows the seeds of further physical limitation. What should you do instead? After learning of these hidden dangers, you may feel uncertain or disheartened. If cycling, stretching deeply, high-impact aerobics, or long walks are off limits, what remains, and rest assured there is much you can do. It's, provided you move wisely with consideration and kindness towards your body. Now is not the time to prove your strength, as in younger days, but rather to choose exercises that nourish nerves and restore joints. Consider chair-based yoga. It allows for safe stretching and deep breathing without taxing the spine or feet, opening up the body and soothing the nervous system. Water-based activities, such as swimming and water aerobics, gently support your weight, alleviate joint pain, and promote circulation without harsh impact or risk of falls, making them among the safest and most revitalizing movements for seniors. Short daily walks, 10 to 15 minutes, can be highly beneficial if performed in shoes that provide genuine support and proper fit. Tai Chi is another excellent option. This slow, flowing discipline improves balance, coordination, and calm without any sudden or forceful movements. Even at advanced stages, Tai Chi has proven transformative, instilling confidence and security. Most crucially, always listen to your body. The aim now is not to challenge your limits, but to preserve your well-being. Consult a physiotherapist if possible, one who understands the complex needs of older adults and can devise a tailored exercise plan. Final thoughts. A senior's perspective. The process of growing older imparts many lessons. The importance of patience, presence, and wisdom, foremost among them. One of the most profound truths I have come to hold is that our bodies communicate quietly at first, but more insistently if neglected. Tingling feet, persistent aches, or subtle losses of balance are not random misfortunes, but your body's plea for gentler care. When younger, we were often taught to ignore pain, to equate resilience with endurance, yet true resilience at this stage lies in adaptation, in respecting and adjusting to your body's changing nature. At 90, I have watched firsthand how some well-intentioned, familiar exercises slowly erode the foundation of balance and mobility simply because no one warned us. So I share this not as a medical professional, but as a peer who has witnessed such truths unfold. Movement is still vital, but now it must be judged by intention and safety rather than mere exertion or intensity. If you notice numbness in your feet after walking, stretching, or cycling, do not disregard it. Such signs are your nerves' gentle warnings. Recognize these early, and you may avoid graver consequences later. Our feet are not merely tools, but loyal companions throughout life's journey. They have carried us through joy and hardship, and now more than ever, they deserve patience, supportive footwear, restorative exercise, and careful respect for their endurance. This phase of life is not about replicating past routines, but embracing those that protect your nerves, foster calm, and support steady balance. Your choices remain significant. You need not wait for a fall or a severe episode to instigate change. Begin today, consciously and gently. Every step you now take, however modest, affirms your ongoing commitment to life. Care for your feet. They remain your bridge to all the places you still hope to reach. No matter how late it seems, it is never too late to move differently, to heed your body with compassion, and to proceed with wisdom. Choose the gentler path. You may be surprised by the strength and fulfillment it yields. Let these insights inspire you to approach your later years with intention and authenticity. Reflect on what you have learned and consider how you might apply it in your daily life. By supporting one another, we can embrace the realities of aging with grace and resilience.